Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Tuesday, the 27th of December 2022. In today's Millwall news, we have this exclusive from londonnewsonline.co.uk, and that's Millwall have accepted 2 bids for Isaac Olaofe. So, what is going on here? It looks like he's set to leave in this January transfer window, which opens in 5 days. So Isaac Olaofe is set to leave Millwall when the January transfer window opens. The South London press understands that the Lions have accepted bids from 2 League Two clubs for the striker. Olaofe is expected to weigh up his options over the next few days. The 23-year-old has also had interest before the summer transfer window closed. Olaofe has twice had loan spells at Sutton United and scored 14 goals as they won promotion out of the National League in June 2021. The Lucian-born player has also headed back to them the following campaign, netting 8 times in 27 appearances. The forward has made 3 substitute appearances for Millwall, but the Championship side have added to their options in that area. Idomu Maku arriving from Shamrock Rovers. Olaofe is down the pecking order in SC16 with the likes of Tom Bradshaw, Zion Fleming, Andreas Voglsammer, and Benik Afobe all competing for attacking spots. So I've said this before. So he's 23 now. He's going to be 24 next year. And if you think about it, he's 6 years away from being 30 years old, which means he's got about 6 to 8 seasons in professional football, which is nothing. So he needs to get going and get a career for himself. Get out there, do something, make a mark. And no real concrete names into who these 2 clubs are. There's some rumours that one of them may be Stockport County, we wait and see. So good luck to Isaac Olaofe wherever he goes. Moving now to the 4 takeaways from South London Press, London News Online. 4 takeaways from Mill's 2-0 win at Watford. It's finally Vogie time. Fleming delivers again, an essay-handed cameo. Millwall propelled themselves back into the Championship player places with a 2-0 win over Watford, Vicarage Road on Boxing Day. Here are the takeaways. It's Vogie time. After blanking in his 18 previous Championship appearances, Andreas Voglsammer finally broke his Lions duck at Vicarage Road. Former Union Berlin man has come close to finding the net on multiple occasions since arriving in SC16, but that first goal had managed to elude him till the 22nd minute of this festive clash. His low crisp strike fizzed behind Daniel Bachmann in a home goal to leave the Hornets, who had been outplayed until that point, with a mountain to climb. Garrett admitted after the match that there had perhaps been a bit of pressure building on Voglsammer in the wake of the long barren spell. The German forward has, though, contributed in recent weeks. He was heavily involved in a couple of Zion Fleming's goals against Preston and even managed to grab an assist for a 4-2 win when his fist cross was found home by Charlie Cresswell. Voglsammer isn't an orthodox right winger, but he does have a wicked delivery and is full of endeavour. He will need to add goals to that mix if he is to maintain that spot, though. Hopefully his maiden Millwall strike can be the catalyst for him to become a more consistent attacking outlet for the Lions during the second half of the season. Fleming fueling playoff push. If you're looking for consistency, then look no further than Zion Fleming. Mill's Dutch maestro made it double figures for the season with his whipped free kick, which whizzed past Daniel Bachmann. With 10 strikes, the Lions club record signing is now just behind Victor Gyökeres in the Championship scoring charts. Although Fleming was hampered, I think he's actually behind 2 other people, Chuba Akpom, so that's not correct. So he's 3rd. Although Fleming was hampered by injury in the early weeks of his Lions career, it was obvious that the ex-Fortuna Sittard man had the quality required to make an impact in the Championship. Few, though, would have predicted him hitting double figures before the turn of the year. Millwall have hardly garnered a reputation for being prolific since returning to the Championship. They have kept pace with their top 6 rivals for most part of this term, largely thanks to Fleming. Burnley and Sheffield United have quietly been pulling away, but the Lions have notched more goals than Blackburn and just 1 fewer than Watford, and Norwich haven't played a game less. Fleming now has 5 goals in his last 4 games. If he can keep that sort of form going in the new year, then Millwall could consolidate their spot in the top 6. Yes, and what you got to realise is that he missed. He didn't start straight away. He missed the first month of the season with a bit of an injury, and since then, so it's not even he hasn't even played the full amount of games, which is remarkable when you think about it. So, I mean, you've got to imagine if he stays fit and if he plays most of the rest of the games that we've got, he could seriously get into 20s. He could get 20 goals, which would be putting you up there. Opportunity knocks. After knocking off one of the sides heavily fancied from promotion for the second time in 2 months, Millwall nudged themselves into playoff places. But other teams set to play later in the day. Nobody really expected the Lions to still be in 6th spot at the end of the Boxing Day, but they were. Millwall now have real opportunities to muscle their way into a powerful position. They have a game in hand. The majority of the top 6 rivals after last weekend's match against Luton was postponed, and now 2 winnable home games on the horizon in the form of Bristol City and Rotherham this week. It's a real opportunity for Millwall to make the next step in their bid to crack the playoffs. They faltered when in a similar position before. The next few weeks could reveal a lot about Millwall's ability to cope with the pressure of sustaining a top 6 spot, indeed. But what has happened to our home form? Because if you look at it on, so we didn't beat Wigan, that was a draw, and we didn't beat Hull, that was a draw, a 0-0 draw, that was really bad. Has our home form started to slip? Maybe we're struggling to break teams down at home if they try to defend too much. I don't know, but it might not be easy against Bristol City and Rotherham, but it should be. It shouldn't be that hard because Hull and Wigan are not especially better than Bristol City and Rotherham. So we shall see. Academy delivers again on a day where Academy graduates Danny McNamara and Billy Mitchell shone. Romain Esse became the latest Lions youngster to make his senior bow. Esse caught the eye of an impressive showing against Bromby during the World Cup break and was handed his professional debut in the final minutes of Bridge Road. The young winger, 17, showed some neat touches and he nearly played Fleming through on goal and was close to scrambling a loose ball over the line after Tom Bradshaw had somehow been thwarted by Bagman again. The majority of Millwall's most memorable campaigns have been enjoyed by squads with a strong academy presence. Millwall under-21s have flown this term under Kevin Nugent. Hopefully Esse will not be the last of the Lions fledgling a young cub to be blooded in the senior ranks over the coming months. And Esse hasn't even played that much for the under-21s. He made one start a couple of games ago where he absolutely was really good. But he's an under-18 player. He's been mostly playing for them. And he makes the odd appearance on the under-21 bench. He hasn't even been really playing for the under-21, so his progression, the first team, especially notable. So, oh yeah, one other thing I forgot to mention in terms of other teams in the league. Norwich have fired their manager. They've sacked Dean Smith. So they're not playing around. They're not happy with where they are. Which is just a few spaces above us, which they're obviously trying to get automatic promotion. The perennial yo-yo club, Norwich, and they're not happy that they're not yo-yoing quicker. So they fired their manager, which is crazy, but I guess what can you do? What can you do? They've got expectations and they're not being met, and so they fired their manager. We don't really have any expectations, and we're doing pretty well. We're in 6th place. So now Millwall manager calls for inconsistent refereeing decisions after controversial Watford clash. The Lions have the majority of the significant decisions going in their favour on Boxing Day. Yeah, so even though we won that game and we got like the decisions for us, Rowett's still moaning about the referee, it seems. Let's have a read of this from southwarknews.co.uk. Rowett believes that referee Josh Smith got most of the big calls right in their Boxing Day win at Watford. However, the Mill boss admitted that some of the smaller decisions went against his side, but explaining that the Hornets could have had a penalty in the first half of the match. As a result, he once again called on a more consistent approach to refereeing in the Championship after some of the big calls went against his side and cost him points earlier in the season. If you look at the season, maybe last season, that might have been a foul, but this season, we've had so many instances where we're told that that's acceptable contact. For me, I don't think that was a massive problem, he said after winning on Boxing Day. I think they might have been a bit disappointed that they had a penalty shout in the first half. At the time, it looked quite close. I think Muzzer just dangled his leg out. Again, I haven't seen it back, so I couldn't give you a detailed opinion on it. The red card looked clear to me. The lad struck Danny McNamara in the face. It wasn't a powerful strike. It wasn't a knockout blow, but nevertheless, you can't raise your hands in those situations. It looked aggressive, and the referee was very close to it. I think both managers, we had moments where we were both complaining. It's a difficult game. I thought it was quite a physical game at one point. I felt as though the game might get evened up a little bit because I think Sav got booked. I think Bacuna was lucky he made a foul on Zion in the middle of the pitch. He didn't get a second yellow card, I understand that. But then Savile got a yellow straight away after something that didn't look too bad. But of course, Yao Pedro ended up coming off because of it. I'm not going to disagree with Slaven. Sometimes these moments go for you. Sometimes the big moments that go against you. I think it's frustrating this season at times, but I have no doubt that people are trying to do the job as best as they can. Indeed. So I don't know if he's moaning about the ref today not being as shit as the refs previously in the Championship. Seems to be that way, or just not booking for Bacuna. We see it in the World Cup. There was literally like penalty, like they weren't scared of giving like 4 penalties in a game. Like it's a penalty. Like boom, there you go. The yellow card is yellow card. It doesn't matter if you end up sending 3 players off, 4 players off. As long as you have the minimum amount of players on the pitch, everyone's good. But for some reason in this country, there's some kind of like balancing act that the refs feel they need to do. They one for you. Oh, that one was a bit dodgy. So, but I did give you a penalty, and I'm thinking about I'm going to regret it. So I think I'm going to have to give a penalty to the other team if the opportunity arises. There's some kind of evening out that referees in this country do, which is just weird. Like, play the game, play it as it plays. Don't try and balance things out and even things out. But hey, there you go. Moving on now to this from LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. Andreas Voglsammer reacts to scoring his first Millwall goal. Andreas Voglsammer has given his verdict on scoring his first goal for Millwall. The German attacker fired the lines ahead in yesterday's 2-0 win over Watford at Vicarage Road. It was Voglsammer's first time on the score sheet since his August switch from Union Berlin. I didn't really have a feeling, it was just relief, he told Millwall TV. For a long time, not scoring, I didn't really have a chance. The last game I had to score 1 goal and I didn't score it. It was fantastic to do it in front of the crowd who travelled to Watford. I'm really happy and I enjoyed the moment. As a striker, you always want to assist or score goals, but I'm old enough to know that winning a game is most important than who scores the goals or how many goals I scored. Playing wide right is not my perfect position, but I'm doing it for the team so that we reach our goals and to play well. Indeed, so there is Voglsammer there. So saying he's not happy playing on that right hand side. So he scored, so there you go. We're going to move on to this piece now about Alex Mitchell playing in Scotland, and then we're going to move on to the stats. So, Mill will return not on Alex Mitchell's mind as an on loan St Johnstone defender targets home wins versus Hearts and Dundee United. So this is from the Courier.co.uk. And yeah, a weird thing happening the other day. So on Christmas Eve they played, so the Scottish team played, and he was on the bench. I think St Johnstone rested players against Celtic away, which is kind of weird, but I think when you've got this festive period and you've got a game that you're almost guaranteed to lose, you kind of like, well, let's just get through this one and see what we can do in the other couple of games. And Mitchell came off the bench against Celtic and actually got a decent rating and was one of their best players, despite having like 25 minutes on the pitch. So let's have a read of this quickly. St Johnstone fans believe Alex Mitchell's got a big future in front of him when he rejoins Millwall, but the on-loan centre-back has only got the Perth side's Premiership campaign on his mind. The 21-year-old returned to action after suspension with an impressive half-hour contribution off the bench at Celtic Park on Saturday. Now 4 points from 2 home games, the first of them against Hearts on Wednesday, tomorrow, Wednesday the 28th, that's when they're playing. And mapping out the next stage of his career can wait until the next summer. I'm contracted to Millwall next season as well, said Mitchell. We'll see what happens with Millwall. I'm concentrating hardest on playing here at St Johnstone, so I haven't really thought about it at all. I do love playing here, and I also love Millwall. I feel I'm in a really good position right now. It's been quality for me so far, and I've really enjoyed it. I've been on loan 3 times now, and this one has definitely been a really enjoyable experience. I feel I'm getting better each game and more confident too. On Saints McDermott doubleheader, Mitchell said, We'll go on to Hearts and Dundee United now, where I think we can take all 6 points. Our former homes have been pretty good, and I know for a fact we all feel confident on our pitch. It's a really good atmosphere there right now. The fans are getting right behind us. They're really helping us. Hearts are in a similar position to where we are right now, and Dundee United are looking to move up the table. I think it's a very tight league this year, and we want to go as high as possible. Even when we lost to Aberdeen and Hibs at the start of the season, I don't think they were better than us. We had a few tweaks to make, and we've done that now. Mitchell is confident there will be no hang-up on Christmas Eve's unbeaten run ending defeat in Glasgow. I don't think we were terrible, but with the quality they have, a couple of lapses in concentration and you're punished. In the second half, we had more opportunities to get the goal and attacked more. We were a good enough team that we can attack the likes of Celtic and punish. Saturday was just a blip and nothing major. Celtic is top of the league for a reason. But we're a good team as well, and our form has been showing that recently. Before the Celtic game, we were the second most formed team in the league. So there you go. Away loan Mills loaned players concentrating, playing tomorrow. And let's keep an eye on them and see how they get on. But let's have a look now at the stats from the Watford games. This is from infogol.net. If you look in the middle above the red FT, you will see the XG for that game. That XG was 0.75 for Watford, 1.47 for Millwall. Here are the match events. Obviously, the early yellow card for Bakuna, goal for Voglsammer, looking for Saville. They made substitution, then a red card for them, and then there's the rest of the stuff there. But let's have a look at the shot map, which is what I love on this website. It's their main feature, and here we go. So there's Watford's shots over 90 minutes of the game. Not a lot going on there. They had one maybe chance right and Gaspar 50-50 that was going in. Now let's have a look at Mill's chances. Wow, that is a lot more chances, isn't it? A lot more. You can see the goals are the ones with the orange ring around them. And that was one of our best chances. Our best chance wasn't scored. It was Voglsammer, 64 minutes. That was the one where he hit the bar. So impressive stuff there from Millwall. Let's have a look in the first half. So that's what we restricted them to in the first half. This is what we did in the first half. A lot more production from the second half. Again, they tried harder. They had a better chance. They didn't really have a lot going on, but we still have more going on. So there's that. Now moving moving to whoscored.com. Having a look at this, you can see on the right hand side the top 5 rated players are all Millwall players. Voglsammer getting the man of the match, 8.8. Way and above Isaiah playing with 7.7. Most shots from Millwall players. And you can see most dribbles were from Watford players, which is what bears out what I saw when I was watching the game. That they pass the ball forward once, and then the player who picks it up dribbles forward a bit. But when they try and pass the ball, they cannot string 2 passes together. It's a really weird way of playing. I don't know how they've been winning games playing like that. Maybe that's just what they do against us, and it's not working. But you can see here, so Watford had no strengths. Millwall, their strengths were created a high number of chances relative to their possession, stole the ball often from the opposition, were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities with 3 balls, and were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from set pieces. But Millwall were poor at finishing and more aggressive. Yes. Wow. Here we go. So, attempts on goals, or attempts, are 7 to 23, 4 to 12 open play, 3 to 11 set pieces. So 23 shots, 2 goals. That's an 8% conversion rate. So it looks like we would just like shoot on sight, shoot early, shoot often. Here's the attack. So obviously they had a one-man band in Ismaili Sarr, which were always trying to go down that left-hand side. We were pretty much balanced. Shot directions, shot zones, action zones. Barely, like 21% in our third of the pitch. Player positions. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Look at Millwall's front line, front four. Basically playing 3-4-3. That was incredible. Watford were playing quite deep. Weirdly quite deep. You can see their forward player on the left, 23 and 7. They're barely past the halfway line. But yeah, damn, that is incredible. Yeah, not bad. So let's move on now to some of the stats from what happened in the game. So if you look at the club badges on the top left and the top right, the average player rating for Watford is 6.32. Average player rating for Mill is 7.1, which is a large difference at this level. So it's clear difference in terms of Mill. Obviously, their average was tanked by getting the player sent off, getting 5.0 for that. Voglsammer, man of the match, 8.8. But you've got basically, what have we got? We've got every Mill player who started 7 or above, except for Tyler Berry, 6.4. Which is probably about fair, I guess. If you wanted to have one weak link, it was probably him, but he did alright. I mean, he didn't stand out as being poor, but he did have his efforts. Like I said, going down that left-hand side with Tyler Berry, it allowed Voglsammer to come into the middle, where he could be productive and get an assist, or not get an assist, but hit the crossbar, score a goal. So there you go. And obviously Tom Bradshaw again with the assist. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But so let's have a look and see who did what where. So total shots 7-23. There you go. Everyone on Millwall had a shot except for Billy Mitchell, Danny McNamara, and George Long. Incredible stuff. Bradshaw with 4, Voglsammer with 4, Fleming with 6. Interesting. Possession wise, 44-55. Yeah, they let us have the ball. They didn't really mess around. They didn't really try and keep the ball because obviously they can't. They can't keep two. They can't string two passes together. That's not how they play. So they let us just have the ball and we passed it around, and they didn't really pressure us either up front. They didn't close us down, so kind of weird that they just let us do what we wanted to do. So who had the most time on the ball for Millwall was Billy Mitchell, 7.9% of the match time. The ball was on his feet. So pass success percentage, 73-78. Billy Mitchell, 93. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be off a high number of passes. Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell was amazing yesterday. He was absolutely brilliant. They all were, to be fair, but Billy Mitchell was especially. I mean, he was really good. Dribbles 10-4. Again, that's how they play. They like dribbling. Aerials won. They actually won the area more aerials than us, 21-16. So obviously, I think that's something that Village talked about drilling into them, that they had to win the aerials, and they also had to win the second ball. So you got Cathcart and Cavazzile winning 9 aerials between them, and Seamer as well getting 4. So tackles though, we won that one 14-23. Every Millwall player had a tackle made, except for George Long. Incredible stuff. Voglsammer with 3 himself. Mitchell, Hutchinson with 4. Corners 4-10. Dispossessed 5-7. That means having the ball taken off of you. Okay, so now let's move on to stats. Just base what we've seen. While we scroll down, let's have a look and see. Obviously, Backman, 7.2, one of the highest rated players. He had a lot to do. He made a lot of saves. So you can see we saw that they had 7 shots. They only had 2 shots on target. Not a lot for George Long to do. So let's go down and see what Mill players did. Let's sort the ratings out. 8.78 for Voglsammer, 7.65 for Simon Fleming, 7.61 for Billy Mitchell, George Saville 7.46, and number 5 7.38 for Tom Bradshaw. So everyone. So going all the way down to the 9 players having 7 and above. Daniel McNamara just under 6.97, which is weird because he was very good yesterday. Maybe the yellow card knocked him under. I don't know. And the subs, this is probably how it should be. The subs not really breaking, getting better scores than the players that they replace, which means the starting 11 was bang on, primo. They did their job and did what they had to do. They were very good. And the subs didn't get on and play better than them. So in terms of touches, who had the most touches in Millwall? Billy Mitchell, 72, 65 for Murray Wallace, Saville and Hutchins, 57. In terms of shots and shots on target, so we had 23 shots, amazing amount of shots, incredible amount of shots. Obviously some headers as well with some set pieces from the defenders. But we only had 2, 4, 6, 8 shots on target. So when you look at it like that, so we have 23 shots, only 8 of them were on target, and we only scored 2 goals. So part of that was down to their keeper being very good, but here's the thing, I'm not upset about that. that's exciting. I'm not like, it's not clinical, but we won the game. We were the better team. We outplayed them. I'm not upset that we had 23 shots and only 8 on target. We only scored 2 goals from 8 shots on target. I'm not upset about that. If we can play like that every week, I'll take that every week. I'll take that every week. To have so much production is off the chart, you know. And here's the thing: what if you have these amount of shots? If you have these amount of shots on target, there's only so many minutes in a match. If you're the one doing the attacking, then the other team's not attacking you. So yeah, I will take that every day of the week. So let's have a look and see who did what. Defensively, we've got Hutch with 4 tackles, Billy Mitchell with 4, then Cooper with Voglsammer with 3. Interceptions, Hutch, Billy Mitchell, 2. Okay, and Fleming as well with 1 tackle, 1 interception. Clearances, a lot of clearances there. A lot of clearances. So 2 from Mitchell and then got all these with 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. 9 clearances from Millwall. Blocked shots. We only blocked 1 of their shots, so they didn't have that many shots. They only had 7. But Danny McNamara blocking 1 of their shots. Passing wise, so let's have a look and see how many passes Billy Mitchell had. 57. He had 93% accuracy on 57 passes. That is incredible. That's really good. Billy Mitchell was outstanding yesterday. On the ball, passing the ball. Just outstanding. Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And we've got Hutch and Murray Wallace and George Saville. And they're all pretty decent, to be honest. Your Murray Wallace is 70% off 44. Yeah, all pretty good. If we look at crosses, America crosses, the Voglsammer 10-5, Saville 6-2, Matt 5-1, Tyler Berry 3-0, probably explains his low rating. Billy Mitchell 2-0. But if we move on to long balls and accurate long balls, so here's the thing we didn't mention. George Long's pass rate 43, which is probably kind of decent for him, I guess. Decent for a goalkeeper. Normally around the 30s, I guess. So 17 long balls, only 4 of them were accurate. And then he had 23 passes overall, which means he had, 6 short balls. Sean Hutchinson 10-5, Billy Mitchell 9-7, George Saville 6-4, Danny McNamara 6-3. I think that's pretty much it. So on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.